You listened to him on the KVJ show for years. Every time he tried to talk sports, he'd get shut down. After years of begging, we finally gave in. Brought to you by Bremen Motor Cars in West Palm and Jupiter. A world-class experience. Visit BremenBMW.com. And by Wellington Anti-Aging. Low T? Go to WellingtonAntiAging.com. It's Kevin's Other Show on 640 The Hurricane.
And that's it. It's another supernova run to the Final Four for the Wildcats.
That's all she wrote. Winning a school record 32nd game sends the Michigan Wolverines to the Final Four.
And that is going to do it. Kansas heading to San Antonio. That's it. Chicago, you got a Final Four team. The Ramblers of Loyola Chicago headed to San Antonio.
Yeah, there you go. March Madness action from over the weekend.
Great games, too.
Yeah.
Absolutely great games.
They really were. I mean, a lot of them minus pretty much one game was all really good. Good stuff. I'd say the one that really got me yesterday was Kansas Duke. That was unbelievable. What was that? Like at one point they had, about 14 lead changes, something like that, like right at the end?
Yeah, it was back and forth. It's funny. I feel like it was kind of back and forth in a lot of the games, too. But for the first time, Loyola was able to get a win that was more than 2 points.
It was incredible. I mean, out of all the games that you thought were going to be close, you figured, okay, this one's going to be close because that's the way they've been this entire tournament, and they just blew out Kansas State.
I was so, just in some of the games, the one that got me yesterday was watching Duke, Kansas.
That was so, I was, literally locked to the television.
Yeah, that was such a great game. And I had, is what happens in March Madness, though. It's like I had so many emotions because I had picked Kansas. Mm-hmm. I had them right in the bracket. Then
That's right, yes.
Then I started feeling bad because I'm like, oh, dang, I don't want to see. I mean, this is like what, Coach K? This is the end of the era? I mean, he's gone, right? I mean, was that is he retiring? Is he out?
Is he retiring?
I don't think so. I mean, there's always speculation with him that he was going to retire or go to the NBA. I feel like he's kind of like an institution.
You
now.
think he's back next year?
Yeah, I would think so.
I highly doubt he goes to the NBA. Maybe as a front office person. I doubt he's going to go coach in the NBA though.
Not anymore. I think that
his
window
coaching days are done.
Yeah, there was
maybe a general manager.
I mean, what is he?
Sort?
Is he 71?
That's a good question.
Let's find out. Most obvious hair dye job
it's
ever.
So bad.
Oh my God, he looks like Eddie Munster.
You remember Gene Katie from Purdue?
I do, Purdue. Yeah.
Yeah, he had that comb over going.
But he had a toupee.
That was pretty bad.
That was full out.
Was that
toupee.
a comb over or a toupee?
No, that was full out toupee.
It was a combed over toupee. He is 71.
He looked like the freshest big boy. He had the hair. It looked plastic.
It was so bad.
It looked like a nail gun and put that thing on his scalp.
71, Coach K.
Yeah, 71.
Confirmed.
I'm looking at CoachK.com.
Oh, that's a thing?
It's a real thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Why does he have a shield like Captain America on his website?
It really is like a shield that says Coach K on it.
And he talks about him retiring. Is he back? Definitely.
I'm looking.
I don't know why I thought I had heard that or had this epiphany, and I'm like, oh man, is this going to be the last we're ever going to see a Coach K? So I kind of then wanted to see Duke start winning. And then I saw that little pissant, Grayson Allen. I was like, well, I don't know, man.
It's so annoying.
That kid is so annoying. What is it? Why does Duke always have that really unlikable white guy?
I was going to say, he's like that typical guy, right? He's always so annoying. They're always on Duke.
Yes, and honestly, if it was like an 80s kind of like, comedy, he would be like that little like Dennis the Menace pissant kind of person that you root against. He'd be the Biff,
yes,
that you just can't stand.
Biff.
Yeah,
you don't want to be the Biff.
Nobody wants to be the Biff.
I don't know why Duke always has those guys.
I don't like saying this, but I was really happy when his shot didn't go in because I was like, you are just a little SOB and I can't stand you. So that's what you get for tripping and kicking people.
Right, exactly. You didn't want him to win it. That was kind of it. When I was like I don't want, because I mean, if he's already annoying, imagine how annoying he'd be if he knocks out, Kansas. And so I was okay if Duke would have won. It couldn't have been at the hands of Grayson Allen. He couldn't do it.
It almost happened. But I kind of like this, though. We can start this rumor that Coach K is going to retire. I mean, I'll run with it if you want.
I don't know why. I don't know if I had a dream. Sometimes maybe I
heard he's
dead.
Is that too far?
Let's just take it to the next level. Why not? I don't know. Maybe you had like a vision.
I don't know. I don't know what was
vision.
going on. I don't know. I get that kind of stuff. That's
unconfirmed rumors is all I can find. So,
yeah.
I mean, I don't think anything is going on. But
okay,
confirmed he's dead.
Okay.
All right. Fair enough.
Well, big story again from some of the weekend. Sister Jean, she is just, man, an institution. And the money around her, it would be interesting to see if somebody could actually like nail down the value of this run that Loyola Chicago has. Not only just the merchandising stuff that's going on right now with Sister Jean. You've seen they've done bobblehead dolls for her.
Unreal. Do you see how much they're going for?
Some of them, like,
eBay?
what, $300, right?
So there was one on there. Was
Special.
There was like $600.
Yeah,
It's
really.
very special.
That's ridiculous.
Well, they're going to flood the market now because I guess they just did a merchandising deal. They're going to be coming out with Sister Jean T-shirts like crazy. The bobblehead sales right now over 5,000.
That's insane.
And they say the second highest up until Sister Jean was 3,000 when Clemson won the national championship.
Yeah, Sister Jean.
Sister Jean is out.
98-year-old nun.
Yeah, outdoing a national championship Clemson team. And is anybody seen the bobblehead doll? Is she like at the walker? Or is she in the wheelchair?
That's
she
what I'm
has
wondering.
The scarf. What's going on?
I haven't seen. It's a great question.
Or
'cause
do
I
you
haven't
have a little
seen
bit
it.
of both? Do you want walker? Or do you want wheelchair, Sister Jean?
Oh, that's the thing. Is that
I think I want the wheelchair.
I want the wheelchair.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, no, it's not. She's neither in a wheelchair nor a.
Well,
nor
come
a-
on, that's
you got to
standing
do
right.
both. You got to do both.
Yeah.
Come on,
It's
man.
pretty accurate though.
You can't have her
What do they do?
standing
She's
though.
just standing?
Huh?
I don't
yeah,
like
she's
that.
just standing.
No, that's not done right.
This isn't right. Is
It
that the
needs to
real
be-
thing?
It needs to be the wheelchair.
It looks like just a picture of her face on a doll.
I would do both. I would do both. I'd be curious what would outsell, wheelchair or walker for Sister Jean.
Oh, dude, if it was a wheelchair, I'd be in.
I think the wheelchair is the one you want, right? And you got to have the scarf.
I think if it's a collector's edition, though, I'm
Yeah.
going for both. I mean, why not? Why not put
well,
it
that's
both?
why you release like limited edition Walker version.
Okay, what if you do Sister Jean with a fadeaway jump shot?
That would be
Nice.
even more.
Is that part of it? Okay.
In the wheelchair basketball.
It could be like the what were those things? The Buddy Jesus. You remember those? They used to sell
from
those little
Dogma.
statues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, like kids playing frisbee and basketball with
Yeah.
Jesus. You can do that with Sister Jean.
It's getting so crazy now. Somebody's even put together a parody song of Billie Jean, Sister Jean.
Hey, Sister Jean is not my mother.
Yeah.
She's just a fan who happens to be a nun.
It's sadly the jam.
It is
pretty
incre-
awesome.
It's honestly incredible,
It's good.
and whoever did it, great voice, the whole
Yeah.
nine. Like, they really did. They put a lot into it.
I'm buying in. I want to get what is their mascot? What are they? Retrievers?
They are the no, that
The
was
Ramblers.
UMBC. They
Yeah.
are the Ramblers.
I can't even keep all these guys straight. Yeah.
Yeah, UMBC was the Golden Retriever.
That's right. They're the Retrievers. You got the Ramblers. I would buy it. I'm buying. I'm
What
jumping in.
what is a rambler, by the way? Does anybody know that? Is that like a hokey? Do we not know what a rambler is?
No idea.
Okay, just
No
wanna
clue.
make
Do they
sure.
even have a mascot there, or is it just Sister Jean?
It's got-
I think they
Sister
may
Jean.
change it to Sister Jean now.
She is.
Yeah.
She is a rambler.
Even after she
Isn't their
goes.
mascot Jesus?
Is it?
I don't know.
I don't know. Should be. No, Sister Jean. Is it bad if after she passes, you always have someone dressed up like an old lady in a wheelchair?
That probably wouldn't be a good idea. Yeah.
Really? You don't think so?
But it's out
I
of
think it
love.
might be.
You have to have the original for the good luck.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they
They're not
wanna
just
keep
wheeling
cashing
out
in.
some random old lady in a wheelchair.
Okay. All right.
You got a bum leg. Come on.
Well, I mean, they always do it. You know, it's like Texas A&M. When one of the dog dies, is they have like a Reveille 11. You know,
Yeah.
Georgia does it. Why not have Sister Jean Deuce?
I like it.
Sister Jean Deuce.
Why not? Why not always have a Sister Jean?
Just keep getting old nuns.
Yeah, just old nuns. And do the same thing. I mean, people really know. They're on their 12th Sister Jean. It could be a big deal. I mean, honestly, why not? I don't know, other schools do it. If she's the mascot, why not? I don't get why not.
No, I like it. I'm down with this.
Gosh, listen to this. 12 years ago, a George Mason professor looked at his school's run. They were an 11 seed. And by the way, you know, probably you've seen this stat all over the place. Now, Loyola Chicago, 4th, number 11 seed to do it. Doesn't bode well for the others to go ahead of them. LSU, George Mason, VCU, all lost in the semis. And they've got Michigan coming up that looks absolutely red hot.
They do.
Oh, God, they're crazy.
But listen, I mean, as it is already, Loyola Chicago, a huge winner. And I'm not just talking about bobblehead doll sales. They estimated that 12 years ago, the George Mason run to the Final Four was worth $677 million for
Whoa.
the school in free advertising. $677 million. That was the value of going to the Final Four. I mean, you think about it now. Do you not keep hearing George Mason because they're a stat that they're throwing out? I just threw out George Mason. Bing.
Yeah,
Add it up.
exactly. Yeah,
I mean,
it's
honestly. I
right
mean,
to the
keep,
value.
keep adding it up.
676 million?
77, I believe. Yeah.
Oh, 70.
You
I don't want to
shaved off a mill, man.
Yeah, man, my bad. I'm sorry.
What are you
paying them.
doing?
Yeah.
George Mason. Bing. All right, we're back. We got that million back.
Bring back Kent Williams.
Gosh. Yeah. Wow.
And before the tournament, somebody laid down a $150 bet on Loyola to win the title.
Oh, jeez.
2 wins away from getting 45 grand. That's what it'd be. $150 could turn into 45 grand if he's right.
I don't know about you guys, but guys like that just annoy the heck out of me. It's so annoying. I mean, what are you doing putting $150 down on a team that everybody knows at the start of the tournament has no shot at winning?
What do you
and
mean?
now he's 2 games
Knows
away.
has no shot. Are you not just proving they just had a shot?
I mean,
That's the fun of betting, man. You're like
he
going,
is the one that knew.
yeah.
It's so annoying.
Him and Brandon Lang, by
Yeah.
the way, who picked Loyola Chicago to go to the Final Four.
It's
Is,
just,
is that what? Yeah, he did
That's
throw
what
it
you're
up.
saying
pretty
last
quick.
time because I have him going to the Final Four.
oh, come on.
Yeah.
That's
It's just asinine.
There's no
Sorry.
way they beat Michigan, though, is there?
I don't think so.
I will not doubt them anymore.
But you
I
know what,
won't.
though? You have an unbelievable epiphany you had about the Final Four. You have to hear this, and this makes a total sense. It's a lot about God.
Okay.
It's pretty scary.
What's
I
your
was
epiphany?
sitting there. I was reflecting before the show this morning, and during my reflection period, I realized that the Final Four, which is taking place on Saturday, it's Easter weekend. The next day is Easter.
Yeah.
Loyola Chicago with Sister Jean is going to be playing their game in the Final Four
a good
the day
thought.
before Easter.
So
good
if they
thought.
win,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
day of rest between the Final Four and the game is the day that Christ came back?
it's happening. It's got to be a sign,
So is
right?
this going to be like an epic comeback if Loyola makes it into the thing? I think this, with Mike Krzyzewski's dead, we should just start rolling with this.
I like it.
Well,
good.
there's 2 ways to look at it. One, you might look at it like, okay, because it's a religious weekend, it's great. But the other way to look at it is maybe Jesus is busy.
Okay. It's a very busy weekend for him.
There's a lot going on that weekend.
I got a lot of eggs to
like-
paint,
yeah.
guys.
Got a lot of press this weekend.
Yeah.
I got a lot of kids to explain that bunnies don't lay them.
Yeah.
Good possibility. I don't know.
Florida State fans, I don't know if you're shocked that you got bounced, but there's some questions about how your coach handled himself. Leonard Hamilton was being questioned by Dana Jacobson by CBS after the game. Hey, you had 11 seconds left. There's still a little bit of game. It looked like you kind of punted, Coach, and he had a terse reply.
Coach, take me through the final seconds of this game. Why didn't you guys foul?
What are you talking about?
Down the stretch there, the end of the game, the final seconds, 11 seconds left on the clock.
Do you think that the game came down to the final seconds of the game?
I'm asking you, though, why that decision in the final seconds of the game?
The game was over.
You didn't think your guys could get back in it, put them on the line if they miss those shots?
I mean, but 15 seconds, what were we down?
Put them on the line, they miss a few shots.
They lose. Final score 58-54. 11 seconds left. I mean,
That's a lot. It's a lot of time.
weirder things have happened, right?
I mean,
It's a fair question.
Have you seen a basketball game where somebody's closed a 4-point gap in 11 seconds? I have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did it just happen recently?
I feel like it did. It
I
might
feel
have
like it
happened
happened one
during
of
the
these
tournament.
games. So many
Yes.
freaking basketball games. I feel like it has happened.
I think ultimately what happened was somebody said, dude, that's kind of a legit question. And you totally like, good for her, though, for honestly standing her ground because she could have been like, I mean, she knew what she wanted to say
Yeah.
and she stayed right in his face.
That's a bad call by him. Plus, he's a jerk for treating her the way he did.
Yeah.
And also, I think it's bad coaching at that point.
For the record, he did apologize, but you're right. Not a good look, Leonard Hamilton.
What do you think? We win that game?
Yeah.
What were we down by?
It looked like you gave up. That's what it looks
Were
like.
you even watching that game?
Yeah.
Leonard Hamilton.
Coming up, we all gave it a thumbs down on Friday, but it happened. Dolphins signing Osweiler. We will discuss that coming up next.
Can't wait to break down last night's game? Yeah, not. It's Kevin's Other Show on 640 The Hurricane.
Hey, if y'all don't know, Kevin's Other Show, we're on YouTube. And Ricky Bobby discovered something that is pretty cool. Like, if you've got one of them smart TVs or Fire Sticks or...
Yeah, that's right. The smart
Wherever the heck
TVs
you
have
do it.
YouTube built into them.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah, bam. And you can watch it on your smartphone. Boom, just like that.
Mm-hmm. Just send it right to your TV. I was on my Fire Stick, and I've got the YouTube app on the Fire Stick, and boom, clicked on it, and I was watching it like it was a real television show.
Yeah, and I will tell you, inside this studio of the Three Beards, 2 are impressive. Somebody's got a great head of hair out of 3. No,
So-
I'd say 2 out of 3.
Okay. I mean, at least give me some credit on the hair.
Yeah,
all
your
right? I
hair's
know
all right. Your
I'm
hair's strong.
trying.
Yeah, you always wear the hat.
Yeah, so you can't really see it a lot, but
Yeah.
He's trying to go for that Luke Bryan look. That's why.
that's what it is.
What is weaker, my hair or Diener's beard?
I don't want to get into this.
Well, you're always wearing a hat too.
Take a look. I
Yeah.
always do because I got awful hair.
It's not terrible.
Nah,
it's not terrible.
It's going though. What's more patchy, my head or Diener's beard?
Diener's beard, yeah.
Okay.
Diener looks like he got into a fight with a lighter and lost. Terribly.
A lighter.
Come on.
I shave with a lighter.
Yeah, what's you trying to do? Headbutt the damn thing?
This is like the longest my beard has been in years.
I know. It's,
It
you know,
is.
it's a
Your
good
wife
move.
must be-
Yeah.
It's coming. It looks better though because it's covering up. I do the same thing with my hair up top. Like I haven't cut the top of my hair, my head for 8 years.
Wow, me either.
Yeah.
He's got to keep it going.
Yeah.
Your wife must just really just hate the fact that you are wearing that in your face.
No, she's really
Do you
unhappy.
take it off
Yeah.
at night, like put it on the nightstand like a pair of dentures or something like that? Because I don't know how you could sleep next to your wife with that thing.
Me being on this show is the worst thing that's ever happened to her because now I'm just
She
letting my
hates it.
beard. She just wants it gone.
Because are you
Won't
trying to
do it.
keep? You want to be in the?
I got to keep up.
You want to be in the gang? That's
Yeah,
what it is.
I got to
Listen,
keep
bro.
up with you guys.
You've got this patch right under your lip right over here that I feel like it'll never come in. Just give up.
It's really frustrating.
Yes. No, it's absolutely. It looks like a helipad.
I mean, there's times I'm looking in the mirror. There's a lot of self-loathing going on. I'm really self-conscious about it now,
I
actually.
get it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
all right.
tough.
Okay, well,
Trying.
just wait till the comments come in when people check it out on YouTube. You want to talk about being self-conscious? Wait till you get blasted on YouTube. So yeah, you can check it out there, watch it. Also get it on podcast on demand. We do the whole show. It was really convenient. I checked it out on Friday. Boom, went all the way
A lot
through.
of people liked it too.
Yeah, there's no commercials. It just was zipping right through, man. So I know a lot of
Ripping
people
rap.
listen to that. Yeah, and you listen to it whenever you want, so it's not a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about the Dolphins bringing in Brock Osweiler, 1-year contract Friday. Nobody liked it. You know, the Dolphins trying to justify it by saying, look, we just want a veteran backup. Matt Moore's gone. It's not going to work out. Osweiler, we feel like maybe there's potential. I mean, he had a flicker. He had a flicker of hope, and he had his good year with Adam Gase. So if Adam Gase can somehow get Osweiler back to that 1 year where he looked good enough where the Texans like going, man, let's throw a lot of money at him. And then, you know, maybe it was. Maybe Gase made the case to say, look, I know how to work with this guy. The Texans did not. They brought him in. They used him the wrong way. They didn't put him in the right offensive scheme.
It's a good possibility.
I bring him in. He's a backup on top of it. But imagine if
he's going into that starting position. There's no way.
You think Osweiler's going to? No.
He's gonna sneak into that starting position some way somehow because you know either Tannehill's going to tear his labia or he's going to at some point in time just be a mess. And he's going to find a way to bring Brock Osweiler in. I full believe Adam Gase doesn't
think this is
believe
a ruse?
in Tannehill. Yeah.
Really?
I don't think he believes in Tannehill.
He seems like I don't know. I thought they were boys. That they were tight. He seems to talk a big game about him. You're not buying it?
I don't think that he's on the Tannehill train.
So then why is Tannehill around? I mean, if it's not Gase, I mean, who's the one that loves Tannehill so much that we're keeping him?
Well, I mean, this is a situation. He's coming off of an injury. So what they could be able to do is they could have him play a couple games, have him be worthwhile, and then as soon as he starts to kind of slip a little bit, you put Brock Osweiler and you could trade Tannehill in an instant and probably get a lot for him, too.
You are just creating a whole scenario
I'm
here.
just saying, there's a good possibility.
What
It's
is
not like it hasn't
this?
happened before.
Does anybody pick up Tannehill as a starter, though? Or is he just going to be...
I think he would be a starter on a lot of teams. Teams with good offensive line. Good teams. No offense.
How many teams do you think Tannehill could start for in the NFL?
Right now?
Yeah. Half the league, 3/4 of the league?
Grill him, Kev.
Yeah, no, probably about 3/4 of the league. I honestly
you think
it's like,
3/4
honestly,
of
I
like
would take
Tannehill could start on
I think-
3/4 of the teams in the NFL.
I said I wanted Tannehill. And now I'm not a big fan. I'm not a Dolphin fan. I'm not a big fan of Tannehill, but I saw some beautiful things that he's done that I think that he could be able to be a good starting quarterback in the right position.
But I mean, can't you? Okay, if you went out to any NFL quarterback and you did a highlight reel, could you not make any NFL quarterback look amazing?
I mean, yeah.
If you only put together the right plays, and so what you're saying is you could put together a great highlight reel of Tannehill. But I mean, is the guy?
I think he played rather well for you guys. I mean, besides
he had one
getting
good
hurt,
year before he got injured. And before then, it was just a complete building phase. Oh, he's going to get it.
It was always the ramp up, and
then
when you thought
but then
you
he got
to,
it,
but
and then he got hurt.
For how long? How long was Tannehill that guy?
well, now he's ripe. He's ripe. He's ripe for the picking.
He was ripe last year, and then
he got hurt.
The guy's like a paper tiger.
Yeah, I mean, he's very very flimsy.
Ricky,
well, I mean, I'm telling you, I think he could actually, and the fact that
Three-quarters?
I think 3/4. Yeah.
I'm not buying that.
No.
I would say tops 25% of NFL teams.
Yeah, I was gonna say a third, like a third of the league.
third?
Sorry, yeah.
I think he'd be a
I'm saying the Browns.
I think he'd be a backup on 3/4 of the NFL teams.
He could be a backup on any team.
Yeah, well, not
No,
the
but
two
like
guy,
the primary
the
backup.
primary backup.
Yeah, I think he'd be serviceable as a backup on literally any team.
No, but that's what they bring him in for. Is
Oh,
to
I
be
mean,
the backup.
there's a possibility, but you could actually get something. He has trade value.
But you look at Osweiler now. Osweiler now is a backup, and they're
Yes.
trading him around. They're
Yes.
throwing him around as a backup.
Yeah, that was a very strange situation that happened with Osweiler.
And you're saying Osweiler is going to take over for Tannehill. So you're trying to say that who's better, Tannehill or Osweiler? Who would you rather have be your starter?
I probably think they're probably on the same playing field.
Okay, so then you're admitting that Tannehill's a backup.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm saying like he will end up.
You follow me, Diener?
No.
I feel like I'm
wormhole
taking
you trying to bring me into
No,
right now?
man,
What I'm
this
telling
is-
you, what I'm telling
I'm
you
trying
right
to
now.
prove that Tannehill's a backup.
Yes.
And Osweiler is now a backup, and you got two backups that's vying for the starting job.
Essentially,
I
yes.
think that Tannehill has
Yeah.
the assets in order to be able to be a starting quarterback. It's the reason why he's stayed as a starting quarterback for the Dolphins this long, and this is the reason why they haven't gone out and gotten anybody else. They haven't really gone frequently into the draft in order to be able to get somebody since they've had him, and he's actually been commanding the offense pretty well. Now, on top of that, all of the assets that you need as a quarterback, he's all good with all that stuff. The problem he has is that he's a little bit of a wimp.
Okay, but here's the problem.
But
That's kind of a problem for a starter.
But he doesn't have a good offensive line. Now you put him in a position where he
Yeah.
can be able to be in a good offensive line. Now let's say you put him on the Browns, great offensive line. You put him with the Rams, good offensive line. You put him with who else is good? He will be good. Brock Osweiler's situation was very odd. He was very good, and then he got a big amount of money, and then he was just dropped out of nowhere.
But he was put in a different offense.
But he was just let go.
Yeah.
Which
I mean,
was
they
the
gave him-
weirdest
they
thing.
gave him what, 1 year? In
They gave him half a season.
Oh, in
Yeah,
he
Houston?
didn't get a lot of
Houston.
time. I mean, you consider how much time Tannehill has been given in Miami to make it happen, and how much time Osweiler
Miami
was
loves
given.
to sit on people. That's why.
Well, that's the whole thing. Is could you argue that Osweiler hasn't been given the same kind of grace that Tannehill's been given, and so maybe you do have a better quarterback coming in here, and maybe Gase is saying, "Phew, I'm going to do the switcheroo," and next thing you know, even with a healthy Tannehill, he's the backup because he is an NFL backup.
Don't sit
And
here.
thank
and-
you. You have just proved my point.
Unbelievable. No, see,
My
here's
my original point was that Brock Osweiler could have been brought in here in order to take Tannehill's job.
If that's the
That
case,
was my original point.
If that is the
And
real
y'all got
reasoning
yelling at
here,
me.
because see, the way I was able to, I guess, make myself feel better about this over the weekend, console myself.
Drugs and alcohol.
Besides that,
Yeah.
was I figured, okay, they just need a veteran QB presence. Just in case, because they're getting rid of Matt Moore. So Brock Osweiler,
You got two of the
he's just
same
there.
guy. That's what I don't understand.
That's what
You
it
got
is.
Tannehill and
It's so-
Osweiler.
it
They're
sort of
two
is.
of the same guy.
But
But-
if they're actually looking for Osweiler to start, this whole thing just makes me so sad. Like, we're sitting here talking about Brock Osweiler being
Yeah.
the starting quarterback for the Dolphins.
Okay, but if he has the year that he had for Gase in Denver, are you upset by that?
I mean, that's kind
You're
of
not.
that's kind of what the Jets are doing with what's his name right now. Is that they're giving him the 1 year. If he can have 2015,
Teddy Bridgewater?
If he can have 2015 back, it'll be good for the Jets.
Oh my gosh! Did you see the Teddy Bridgewater deal? I was listening to I think it was Pat McAfee's podcast. I think he's making $500,000 a year. They couldn't believe it. They're
no.
laughing at it. They're like going, "What? This is the
They sent him
worst.
they sent him a 1 year contract.
This is the worst NFL contract they've ever seen." They're like, "Who's his agent?"
His mother, I think.
Like
might
he's getting paid like the minimum, like the league minimum to come in as like who is this guy's agent?
And it's just really just because he's coming off of an injury. That was a pretty terrible injury. They thought he was going to lose his leg at
Yeah.
a point in time, but I mean, but still,
kinda bad, yeah.
But that's the same type of situation they're doing with him. Is that they're bringing
Yeah.
him in on a 1 year deal. They're not paying him all that much money, and they're saying that you have the possibility if you can bring back that 1 year, then you would be viable for the team.
But see, now here's the other problem: is that we're discussing Tannehill as a starter. Maybe that's the problem to begin with. He should have been looked up as a backup,
he always
He's a backup quarterback,
It feels like
right?
it, yeah.
and that might be the issue here, which is why Ricky
No, this
is completely wrong.
You put me in
Completely
the,
wrong.
Not
100%.
completely wrong because that wasn't my point from the get-go. My point from the get-go was that Brock Osweiler was
So
come
fired
to
up.
take
Look at that.
Tannehill's job.
Yeah.
So fired up.
I do, after kind of like seeing the breakdowns, and some teams aren't really wanting to show their cards yet, I'm a little bit more optimistic that maybe the Dolphins do go quarterback at 11.
I hope
Seeing
so.
what I don't know that all four are going to be gone by the time they get to the 11th pick.
All four of the good ones.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen even one of the four going at 15th by some projections.
Really?
So who knows?
I don't know.
If this is where we're at, then just bring back Pat White and Ray Lucas at this point. I mean, just bring them all back.
The Antiques Museum.
Yes.
Injuries in the NBA might change the whole scope of everything for the Heat. That is how are they going to go rolling into the playoffs? We'll discuss what some injuries might mean for them coming up next.
Be part of the show on Twitter at 640 The Hurricane, hashtag Kevin's Other Show.
Well, the Miami Heat coming off of a loss.
Tough one.
Is it because Spoelstra bailed, or is it just because they're playing a surprisingly decent Pacers team? I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, why are the Pacers good, by the way? Can anybody tell me this?
We got some. Did you see what happened to Sabonis, though?
No, I didn't.
Sabonis was out for a long time, supposed to make his return, and he wound up stepping on a ball boy's foot and rolling his ankle again.
Oh, ball boy.
Yeah,
Come on, man.
in shoot-around.
Why do you know so much about Arvydas Sabonis' son?
I was watching the highlights, and that was like the first thing that showed up. I'm like, why are they showing shoot around? So I mean,
That's why.
But they're a team they're clicking.
I don't get it.
I don't know.
Yeah, the Heat lose. Spoelstra, he bailed. His wife's having a baby. The Heat go down 113-107 at Bankers Life Fieldhouse in Indiana to the Pacers. So, I don't know. Is it just a weird one-off? Anything bad? Sky's not falling, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you're going into overtime in that game, and you just, I don't know. It's sometimes it's tough, and I mean, especially because they have been doing better.
Mm-hmm.
But
things are still the same. I mean, it's kind of status quo. You went into that game thinking this would be a great win on the road against the team who's above you in the playoff seeds.
Mm-hmm.
But it's, like we said, it's a team that's above you in the playoff seeds, and you're on the road. So it would have been a nice one to get.
Yeah. It's about who you match up against.
Yeah.
It seems like the Celtics might be the better draw. I don't know. Kyrie expected to miss 3 to 6 weeks.
Oof.
He had to remove a little tension wire in his left knee over the weekend. Now, again,
what is he, the $1 Million Man?
I was going to say, tension wire. What's he got going on
tension
there?
wire in them.
So you got to deal with a little bit of that. Then you got to come back. You got to get into the groove. How long before Kyrie's Kyrie? Is it going to be, just the 6 weeks? I mean, who knows? You might see 8 weeks before Kyrie is Kyrie. That could change things. So
it's a great point because we've seen this before actually with the Heat. When you think back to when Chris Bosh had that stomach injury,
right,
where he pulled a couple of the ab muscles, and they rushed him back in as quick as they could, actually against the Pacers in the second round, and he was just completely ineffective, really until the finals.
Yeah,
I mean he was just there to be there, but that injury it holds you back. Yeah.
Right now you got the Heat. They're 8th place in the East.
Oh.
8th place.
Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah, you're looking at the Raptors right now if it ended.
We don't want to play the Raptors in the first round.
Yeah. But you edge up a little bit. You got the Celtics, which I think the Celtics might be a better draw than the Cavs, right? I mean, the
possibility.
The Cavs seem like they're getting healthy. LeBron is on it. Obviously a dude that's seasoned in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. How often does LeBron go out in the first round?
Jeez, has it ever happened? That's a good question. I don't think it's ever happened.
I don't think so either.
Point is, dude doesn't go out in the first round. So, I mean, I think right now, if you're looking at history, if you're looking at injury, if you're the Heat, you want to try to get back up to 7. You want to get the Celtics.
That's probably the better matchup. But like I said last week, no, I mean, it is the better matchup. There's really no question, especially with Kyrie
How do
out.
they do against Toronto?
They don't really match up that well against Toronto.
Well, it could be good, but no, it's going to suck. Sorry, Charlie.
How quickly did he go back on that one? Well, it could be good. Now it's going to be awful.
Oh, yeah.
Boy, talk about holding your convictions.
I have no confidence. I'm sorry.
You didn't even make it a full sentence, Diener.
Sorry.
We got halfway down that. No, I bail.
I backed up on that real quick. Didn't I
mean, no, yeah.
They don't match up well against the Raptors. It's a very bad game.
Yeah.
It's not gonna. I don't even see them winning a game.
No, they wouldn't get swept. I think they would take a game at least at home.
Maybe.
But that's what we're talking about. Is, you know what?
I mean,
we'll make it a 5-game series.
What you're talking about, that game in Indiana is bad because it bumps you to 8. You're a half game out of 7th place. And the point is you got to ride whatever you got to do to stay in 7th. That's where you want to be.
Yeah.
You don't want to be in 6th. You don't want to be in 8th. You want to be in 7th if you're the Heat.
And the odds of moving anywhere else up from that is just impossible. So.
Yeah, you're a game and a half from 6th.
Now, you see, call me crazy.
You're crazy.
Thank you. But I just can't.
And have a crappy.
I can't. Thank you. I can't get away from the desire to make it to number 6 and play LeBron and the Cavs in the first round.
You wouldn't want to. No, it's a bad idea.
It's really. Is it that bad of an idea? Am I crazy?
Yes.
I really want to see it though. I want to see LeBron against Wade in the first round. I want to see LeBron go against the Heat.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to see them really go at the Cavs. Maybe make it a series. I don't know.
One thing that might be interesting in the playoffs, you got Steph Curry. Like, he's missing the first round. They say that's definite. He's out for the first round. I mean, but is that big a deal?
Who's even in the 8th seed?
I was gonna say because
is
Golden
it the Clippers?
State
right now,
Minnesota. I believe,
right?
is
Yeah,
in the
right
8th
now
seed.
Golden State's got Minnesota.
Yeah, so Minnesota's in the 8th
Is
seed.
Golden State
but they're
the 1
tied
seed?
with the Jazz. Golden State's 2 seed
They
right
are
now.
2.
Yeah, they're 5.5 back of the Rockets.
Right. Yeah, Houston's having a good year.
Yeah.
So it would either be the Jazz or Minnesota in the first round for Golden State.
Yeah, I mean they've got a draw right now. It could be anywhere from, honestly, the West is so tight from 4th down to 8th place. You are talking about 3.5 game spread.
Wow.
Wow, yeah.
So
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean,
now.
it could shift so Golden State could play one of 6 different teams in the first round. So you don't know. I mean, the only one they're not going to have is the Rockets.
Right. And the Spurs are the 6th seed? What happened to them?
Yeah, Spurs are 6th seed. Yeah, but they're right there with New Orleans. So they're 5th and 6th. They're tied. 17 games back.
These seeds in the Western Conference really make me scratch my head.
It's very strange.
It is.
It's weird. It's like I'm looking at this. I'm looking at the Eastern and Western, and I'm like, wait a second. The Sixers are the 4th seed.
What is happening? Like, if you
This
hadn't
world
been
has
paying
gone topsy
attention,
turvy.
Yeah.
if you hadn't
Cats
been
and
paying
dogs
attention,
living together.
it's crazy. And you're just looking at the seeds now, a couple weeks before the playoffs. You're thinking, wait, what?
Yeah.
Every game matters, though, for the Heat. And it just one way or the other.
Absolutely.
Every game absolutely matters. Same thing, Florida Panthers, and man, it looked bad for a couple of periods.
Again, turning. Trocheck in behind the net, looking in front. Takes a shot, he scores! Trocheck! He got it done! 13:47 to go, they're within a goal. Trocheck gets it back to the point. Pesic walks in, he shoots, he hit the post! It's loose, they score! Jammed home! Jamie McGinn has tied the game at 2!
I mean, it was something. They had to come back 4-2. They had to scramble back against Arizona.
Those
of all
Coyotes.
people. Yeah.
James Reimer did not look good in the beginning of that game, and then all of a sudden he was a monster towards the end of it. There's a lot of really great saves, but that one goal was great because they hit the post and it literally the puck went loose and nobody knew where it was,
Amazing.
and they were able to just kind of chip it in, and it was beautiful.
How come Doug Plagens isn't that excited when he speaks to you?
I'm
sounded
actually
really excited in those clips.
I'm doing. That's not Doug Plagens.
Oh, it wasn't? Okay. I was going to say, wait a minute.
No.
Okay.
The puck is heading into the Panthers' goal.
Yay.
Golf clap.
Golf meets hockey.
Yeah, exactly. Could you get any more boring? No, but it was a great game, and I mean, but the problem now is that they're 3 points behind the Devils. They were 1 point, but because some wind shuffled around, they're now 3 points behind the Devils, which is unfortunate because they still have 3 games in hand, but it's still going to be a tough one.
Yeah, they just can't be blown anymore.
Yeah,
That's it.
they literally cannot screw anything up now.
Yeah.
So that game that happened when they got blanked, that you can't let that happen again.
Yeah. Well, over the weekend, you saw the March for Our Lives all over from D.C., several in South Florida. I dropped by the one in West Palm. The Stoneman Douglas High School team spent the weekend in Minnesota for the USA Hockey National Championships. Tough draws, tough teams. They lost, but bottom line is they say nobody was holding their heads. It was all positive all the way around. I mean, just to be there was something awesome. And then they got to go to the Wild Bruins game Sunday night, and they delivered the Let's Play Hockey call before the game. And
cool.
This is something cool, too. The Islanders and Brooklyn Sports Entertainment's announcing that 100% of ticket proceeds for their March 26 game with the Florida Panthers going to the Broward Education Foundation.
Awesome.
So, yeah, some real positive notes on that. Coming up, going to be talking what Aaron Judge is going to be hitting leadoff for the Yankees this year. We'll discuss coming up next.
Yep, he's here too. It's Kevin's Other Show, right here on 640 The Hurricane.
Kind of like Aaron Boone is like, now let's see, will I take out the Ferrari today? Or maybe I should drive the Bentley.
Pretty much.
I don't know.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes, I would never stoop so low as to drive a Jaguar. I mean, he's got so many just race cars in the garage. Which one are you going to pull out first? Who would have thought that he would maybe start off with Aaron Judge?
It's a pretty interesting pick to do, but I mean, if you have all that power, you're just positioning it at all different places, and it's a terrible lineup to have to go against as a pitcher.
Well, they can mess with you in so many ways.
Yeah.
And I think what Aaron Boone is saying is that he is not going to be stuck into a standard lineup for the Yankees, that you don't know what he's going to drop on you and when from game to game. And so any team coming into it, you could see any kind of a mix of, all right, you've got Judge, Stanton, Bird, Sanchez, Gardner. Who knows who's going to be where?
And that's the thing. I mean, maybe he's just going to be experimenting throughout the season, and you thought, you know what, opening day, I'll make a splash, do something nobody sees coming, and put Aaron Judge at leadoff, which is just nuts.
Yeah, I mean, it's something he's saying. You know, splitting up the lefties. He said 3 apart kind of neutralizes a specialist. It's something I think could kind of work.
Yes, he's going to go out there with a grenade launcher, actually.
Pretty much.
It's basically it. So.
We're going to put the bazooka in the front of the car this time.
Did anybody see this coming? Aaron Judge batting leadoff? I didn't hear any talk about this.
But I mean, it's smart. You put him up there, you might get him an extra at bat per game.
Yeah.
I mean, you just got that danger up there. I mean, typically, yeah, you want a safe on base guy, but I mean, it's not like you can sleep after you get the one out. You know, and who knows? I mean, does he then bump Stanton up to 2?
My goodness.
And hit Sanchez at 3? You know, what does he do? And then all of a sudden you got, well, I don't know. Or do you put Bird in it?
So many combinations.
Well, he's got so many great combinations. I think what's going to be interesting for the Yankees is Aaron Boone saying, I am not afraid to play with whatever. I mean, you have your standard where you come out and be like going, oh, you're going to hit, you're going to start off, you're going to have Bird, and you're going to have then Judge, then Stanton, and then you're going to have Sanchez. And that's going to be the standard you're always going to see for the Yankees. But they've got so many weapons that who knows.
I think they really just grab a bucket with pieces of paper. It's like batting first today.
They might.
Name out of a hat.
Yeah, exactly.
Just for fun, just to mess with people. Here's what we got for you, and now who knows what the lineup could be. So it really is just kind of pew. If you want to go in, jump on to 640 The Hurricane right now, and you could try to pick what the Yankees starting lineup is going to be on Thursday, opening day. If you pick it correctly, you get a $100 gift card to Yard House and tickets to Universal Orlando Mardi Gras.
Great prize.
It is a really good prize. Absolutely, yeah. $100 at Yard House. I was there on Saturday.
Having my rehearsal dinner at Yard House.
Are you?
Yeah.
So you could use that gift card.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Gosh, it's so
The,
good.
It is good.
The little Asian noodles they have on the happy hour menu. Oh, my
Yeah,
Lord.
they had. I went the appetizer, just the Brussels sprouts and potatoes. It was actually really good.
Really?
That's like a new thing, like appetizers, like Brussels sprouts.
Yes,
A lot of places, but they're all so delicious.
they make them almost like potato chips. It's kind of like I don't know if they're frying them up or what, but
Well,
they're
that's
just
a little
like
different.
Yeah, it's a different little look.
Wow.
Yeah, it's some good stuff. So go
Brussels
check it
sprout
out.
talk here on 640 The Hurricane.
Breaking down the Brussels sprouts.
Brussels sprout
Vegetables,
breakdown.
baby. Vegetables.
Tune in every Monday for Brussels sprout breakdown.
There you go. That could be a new segment.
Talk about benchmarks.
640thehurricane.com. You can go and drop that on there. Something I think is really cool. I love these nice feel-good stories. Lewis Brinson from Coral Springs High School. He is going to do what he's always dreamed of doing, and that is starting opening day for the Miami Marlins. Going to be in center field. This guy's been the one good story. If you're trying to look at, hey, what makes me feel good about the Marlins, there's
I was gonna
maybe
say, long pause.
yeah. There's honestly, I saw a good bit of Marlins games over the spring. Castro looked great, man. Just stroking the ball. The guy's freaking miserable to be on the Marlins, though, which sucks for
He
him.
writes in his diary every day.
Oh, it's just, yeah.
so
it's
sad.
He looks like Droopy Dog going onto the field. But, you know,
boy.
aside from his own personal misery, he's looked good swinging the bat. Brinson looks fantastic, and he is a specimen. That dude is, 6'3", 6'4". I saw him last week playing the Astros. I saw his one triple that he had, and it was kind of concerning, too, because he was he was gunning it. I'm like, dude, it's spring. I see these guys. I'm like, but you know what? He wanted to get that starting job in center. Got beamed in the head. I mean, like the guy, and he was like down. I don't know if he was out, but I'm like, oh, great. There went the one good shining light for the Marlins.
That was it. Him
He
and
was
Droopy
down.
Dog.
Yeah, but he batted .328 in spring, 2 home runs, 7 doubles, and a triple in 23 games. Got the starting nod for Thursday, so
Good
he's
for him.
going to be out there. Yeah. Got the Cubs coming into town on Thursday. But, yeah, it's kind of cool. So, you know, he started Coral Springs High, went off to the Rangers first round in 2012. 29th overall pick, then went to Milwaukee, but he came here with the Yelich trade.
Oh, the confusing draft.
Gosh, yeah.
The confusing MLB draft.
No, that's
I'm
it is.
excited
It's a
to
cool
see
story.
Sterling Castro, though.
Mm-hmm.
He's not
see
excited.
How he does.
He's not excited about
He
anything.
is completely unexcited.
The pitching, though, I don't think I don't even know if they have 4 guys. I think they're looking around. Hey, do you want to pick? Can you throw?
Hey, Droopy Dog,
Pick
can
somebody.
you throw?
I don't think they've got 4 guys to throw. I don't even know who they're going to get. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be confusing.
Start warming up that arm, Kevin.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, it's going to be confusing and weird. So
Maybe they can ask Luke Combs. I heard he shoots straight.
Horrible throw. Yeah, I saw him do that.
Don't get him started on the Luke Holmes throw.
He was like, nailed it. I'm like, I heard otherwise, brother, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no. It's
And he
lies.
tried to say that his throw was better than Kevin's, and there's some dispute about that.
I threw high. There's no athleticism in it either. No athleticism. I showed athleticism. Just pulled a hammy.
Exactly.
Want to give a quick shout out last night. Went and checked out the Palm Beach County Sports Commission Hall of Fame dinner that they had. Lane Train was there.
There you go.
Yeah, he was kicking it up. Devin Singletary won the amateur athlete. So it was all about all about FAU last night. Shout out to some really good stuff that was going on. Palm Beach Gardens. They're a Pee Wee League team, first team ever from Palm Beach County to win the national championship this last year.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and they did that. So they got a well-deserved special honor out there. Frank Torrey up doing a great job at Dwyer High School. So, yeah, really cool to see what they're doing and supporting the local athletes and athletics going on out there. So appreciate the invite to go check that out. If you want to check out this show, you can. It is on YouTube. You can see the beards. You can see the hair. You can see everything. Blow it up on your TV.
Us. Yeah, on the TV. Watch us on the TV.
That's right, baby. Do that on YouTube. The podcast is always there, too. Just look for Kevin's Other Show.
You listened to him on the KVJ show for years. Every time he tried to talk sports, he'd get shut down. After years of begging, we finally gave in. Brought to you by Wellington Anti-Aging. Low T? Go to WellingtonAntiAging.com. And by Bremen Motor Cars in West Palm Beach. A world-class experience. Shop BremenPorsche.com now. It's Kevin's Other Show on 640 The Hurricane.